He's a tactical genius, he's the one to see on VP4TV. He's wild and he's free. Nine ball top number hit you and me. With his cunning moves, he's rocking endlessly. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights from the chill. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights from the chill. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. From the corner bank to the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just for fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. Every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. He wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just for fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. TG from Kilmarnock Town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand.
And it's a sucker scratch. Look at the line. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you.
OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done, streams the games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
This for the 101. Absolutely sensational once again.
Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Just for fun, we'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
That was fantastic.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Well, good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to VP4TV. It's coming up to 4 p.m. on Sunday, the 18th of January, 2026. We have a round 2 match in the 2026 Virtual 10-Ball World Championships. And as you can see in the chat, it's Albinario from Sweden lined up against Interchangex from the USA. Albinario was here earlier getting a bit of practice in. Interchangex is nowhere to be seen. So he's at least 5, 6 or 8 hours behind. In fact, it'll be about 9 hours behind Albinario if he's on the West Coast. But they are due to go head-to-head in about 5 minutes' time. Looking at, in fact, speak of the devil, Interchangex has arrived, so he's going to have a few minutes to bang a few balls. There we can see the tie there. Albinario having coming through the first round match with Mark Shark, 17-11, was it? I think it was. Interchangex, I think, got a bye, if my memory serves me correctly. Now, then again, I'm telling a lie. It was Power Slam, he beat 17-4. So it was. Now, as far as the scheduled matches go, this is the one that we have today. There's one more remaining on the schedule, and that's Stubb against Happy Dolo on Monday evening at 7 p.m. That match last night with Larry and Spectre Dawn, that went well over 2 hours. And they still didn't play the full quota of racks. So that took a while. I got to bed, and of course my head was buzzing and it was difficult to get to sleep, but I got a few hours sleep. I'll make up for that tonight. No message from Steve that he's going to be joining us. It is 11 a.m. East Coast, so he might be at brunch or something, or he might be going out golfing today. I'll have a quick look in Discord. No sign of him in Discord. I'll have another look in a few minutes, and then I'll tab out and shut that down. So welcome, everybody. Difficult to say how this would go, but I'm expecting Albinario to be the favourite, but I'm also expecting Interchangex to actually give a good account of himself. And no doubt Interchangex, in fact, both of them have had experience on the table in terms of getting, well, more acquainted or acclimatised to these tight pockets. That whether there'll be as many mistakes and as many opportunities as there was last night on both sides, we'll see if that unfolds. But Larry had a hell of an amount of opportunities against Spectre Dawn. But Spectre Dawn was just that wee bit better at getting the job done at the end of the day. So Larry's moved over to that one-loss side. Welcome, good afternoon to Cobra. Now, we're just about 4 minutes to go. In fact, I was talking about my 5-litre bottles of water now being cleared out. When I went back to work today, we've got new bottles, new 5-litre bottles have arrived, just different labels on them. So I bought 4 of them. So I've got a big supply of 500ml bottles. I've still got another 2 cases of them to go, and I've now got 4 cases, 4 5-litre bottles of water. So I've got plenty of supplies. In fact, I'll just have a little sip on one of these 500ml ones. A couple of gulps and they're gone out of these tiny bottles. Right. And I've not had my afternoon nap either, so I'm actually semi-conscious again. I had something to eat. I sat back and watched a bit of the snooker. And then I had to get the stream set up. And while I was doing that, I was sort of trying to sleep. My brain was telling me to sleep, but I was trying to fight my way through it. Right, I'll have one more tab out. Right, I'm going to... if I can get the damn thing up here on the screen, I'll get it tabbed out. Right, I'm now out of Discord. So the only way I'm going to know whether Steve is in Discord is if he actually joins in the room. But I'm going to have that shut down rather than having unnecessary processes running in the background. I'm sipping a gin and tonic. Oh, good for you. I'm just sipping water. Albinario's arrived. And we are about a minute from this room getting up. Maybe a wee bit less than that. And we've still got our fair share of gratis players in as well. The other room has gone up. We're going to get straight in. And both players are keen to get it going. That's a good sign. So we've got Interchangex on the right-hand side. Race to 17. No jump queues. 10 ball must be the last ball potted. And it's winner breaks. And Albinario has just sneaked it there. So off we go. Albinario using the stopper shot. Obviously, I never looked at how far he jacked the queue up, but you have to jack the queue up a fair bit for that to happen. And the 3 ball has gone. But no shot. Now this is fiddly because he can try. He could try and sneak round the back of the 9. The problem with that is he's actually fouled a 10. I think he caught the 10 there. Yeah. So first chance straight off the bat to Interchangex. I think he's had a quick look to see that he can get enough of that 4 ball. Well, yes, you can hit the 4 ball first. Whether or not you can get that thin enough to cut it in, I don't know. It looks to me like it wants to go to the rail. Even with a thin cut, it wants to go to the rail, and these pockets might not accept that. We'll find out if he gets that far. He's trying a little bump and trying to still get a shot in the 2, and it's worked out, albeit it's a long one. The problem now, though, is that the 5 ball's hiding the 4. So he just needs to watch the angle he's got, because the cue ball wants to go that way. And if he stuns over this way, he's going to have a dodgy cut. He's just letting it open out. But misses the pot. And leaves a cut on. So the 4 ball's just a little bit inaccessible where it's sitting. It's just awkward. No guarantee that Albinario is going to get good in this. And he has to get out of where he is at the moment in the first place. Now, I'm assuming there's enough of that edge that you can pot this too. Let me have a look. Yeah, you can certainly pot the two. That's not an issue, but the issue is where the cue ball's going. Well, this needs to either stop or go past the 10. I think he might be good. That's perfect. Cobra predicting at 17-12 to Albie. I would sort of go along with that. He's landed perfect on this 5 ball. He's looking to double check and see how the 6 looks. The 6 is fine. It's just about getting through past the 8. Is Yamaguchi Taru on the sake? He must be. Good evening. Is he predicting 17-0? I think Yama's on the sake. Cobra's on the gin, but Yama's on the sake with that prediction. If he's predicting 17-0. Right, well, Albie's left himself right in the middle of no man's land. And he's hung it up. You catch those knuckles, they will hang up. And a gift for Interchangex. Yeah, your prediction didn't last long, Yama. Straight off the bat is gone. Well, no, I mean, if you predict Interchangex 17-0 against Albie, you've still got a chance. You've still got a chance. Right, so Interchangex broke off in rack 2. The 2 ball has gone again in this rack. Oh, hang on, wrong button. Just enough room for that 1 ball to go. Well, the problem is he's hooked himself, bumping that 4. It's come back off the rail. And this is going to be difficult to get any distance away from the 3 ball with the traffic in front of him. Oh, he's not hit that. He's not hit it at all. That's pretty poor. Left Albie a cut, albeit the cue ball's running away. In fact, Albie might not even take the cut. He could bunt this 3 ball around the table and hold the cue ball there for cover. He's got a fairly easy safety, and I think that's what he's going to do. Yeah. That's the right shot. That is definitely the right shot to play. And that's not a very good effort at trying to tie a ball up, I don't think, either. No, that 6 ball, let's have a look. Well, that 6 ball does go. It does go. And I'm sure Albinario is in a good look at that. It definitely does cut that 6. Problem being, though, is that if you're sitting over here with the cue ball, you don't want to play that cut shot from that angle. You want to have the cue ball there to get to that 6 ball. Now, if you really ended up funny, I don't even think, you can't get to the 6 ball from inside. You definitely can't get there. Now, the 6 is not safe. Commentator's eye says he can cut the 6. It definitely does. It goes in off the jaw. You see the gap between the two balls. There you go. Oh, he's right on top of the 10. And look at where the 8 ball is. He's right over the 10. He's going to have to juice this up big time to get this cue ball running. And that's well played. It might be too well played.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, he's got a shot at it. Now, he's got to watch. I think it's going to the long rail before the pocket. I don't think it's in scratch territory. Yeah, that's perfect. So Albinario has redressed the balance there. So pretty, I mean, a couple of mistakes from Interchangex in the rack, especially trying to tie up a couple of balls. Didn't manage to do it and sold out in the end. So one apiece. And a couple of balls have gone. And Albinario has a shot in the one, albeit the cue ball's running away. Now, how well can it run away? Can it get past that 7 ball? Because he needs to have a way of seeing this 2 ball. And it looks simple and straightforward. So he might be just digging to play a bump here and stay inside this 2 ball. Well, he's played and got the bump, but he's done for. He can't see the 2. Well, he can see a tiny bit of it, I think, but he's going to have to kick at this or have a go at the jump. There's that pattern with the 3 balls up table. Oh, that's well played. You don't see many people attempting the jump shots, but Albinario had good room to go over that. It is still difficult to execute with a play cue. And now I presume he's called the bank. Oh, this is going to duck in the corner, is it? It certainly is. Now, let's have a look at how tight that is. Well, Interchangex, I don't think, can pot the 4 coming inside the 6. He would just cut across it and it would catch the rail and just stay there. Is he? I wasn't paying any attention to Semi but Deadly's break. Well, that's a good one. As far as keeping everything safe, Albi will head up to the long grass here. He's got to watch he gets this thin enough, because the problem here is that I think he's fine. I think he can certainly get past the 7. Got to be feathered light touch, because if he goes too far, that's exactly it. He would just expose the 4 ball. In fact, he may well have exposed the 4 ball. He's left it on. Gone too far. Pushed it on the rail and it come off. But he's left it awkward. Albie gets the cut. Now he needs to get out. Now the thing is that he could play this depending on what angle he has when he cut. Now it's a question of whether he comes out high enough to play the 7 into the same pocket or whether he dinks out to try and play it in the side. I think playing it into the same pocket gives him a more movement he can do with the cue ball and a bit more power. Like if you start playing into these side pockets, you can't really bang them in. He's got to try and get a shot in this 8 ball. He's a wee bit short, but he's got a cut, a bedhead cut. Right in the heart of the pocket, down low enough on the 9, and Albie secures rack number 3. One ball had a look in the side pocket, but I think it's dry. Oh no, wait a minute. I think the 4 ball, no, it wasn't the 4 ball, it was the 8 ball that dropped in the last roll of the ball. Well, this time he's trying to use the 9 ball, I think, or the 5 to certainly prevent a shot. Now, the 1 ball does not go past the 3, so you can play the edge of the 1 and just come down and try and duck behind the 4 or get a bump in the 6. You're not going to leave anything on. Yes, you'll be able to see the 1 ball, but you know you're going to keep it reasonably safe. Just it's got to be a feather edge, though. You don't want to bank this into the table. Well, he has banked into the table. Now it's important with the cue ball. And he hasn't got the cover, and what's more, the 1 ball pots. So touch like a sledgehammer, Interchangex. That needed to be cigarette paper thin, that touch. Oh, there's Larry, battered and bruised from last night. What amount of opportunity Spectre Dawn gave you, Larry? A multitude. So, Albie had a go at the pot. Well, I presume he did. I was too busy looking at the chat. And that's going to come back into the gap. That's worked out nice, I think. Yeah. So these are the tables that everybody that's in the tournament now really has to be getting out on. There's no problem other than cue ball movement. Cue ball movement's the problem.
Where's
and
the
that's
cue
a
ball
disaster.
going?
It's come off the back of the 7 and nicked into the corner pocket. That's a disaster. Just when he's looking at pinching the frame, the rack, to tie it back up, he's giving it away. Well, he certainly was. He was always going to hit a bit of the 7, but a bit of a calamity to actually come off the back end of it and get straight into that corner pocket. Now, Albie's got to watch this cue ball in the side pocket. He's well away from it. Well, I think he can certainly avoid, I think, the 6 ball. Now, is he just going to try and come down through this gap to get on the 5 back up the table? Yeah. That's pretty good. Needs to come off the rail. So now, going forward, this cue ball needs to not land on top of the 6. Yeah, he's got it going squarer across, but he's a bit short. He could have done me another spoonful of porridge on that one. 6 balls comfortably off the rail, so you'd expect him to cut this, no problem. He's just got to watch that he doesn't bump into something going up table here. And I presume he's... No, in fact, he's ducking out. I'm really surprised at that. Very surprised Albinario if I go at that. Maybe he was worried about going up and down and bumping into the 9 or 10, but Spectre Don would never have played that. Larry wouldn't have either. The two of them would have taken the bait every day of the week. Two of them would have cut that without any second thought. But Albinario's played it safe. He's left the bank on, though. And that is dead. That is absolutely dead if it runs. Perfect shot. Well, that was a strange choice here by Albie, sort of bottling out on the cut, because the 6 ball was comfortably off the rail. It was never going to be that difficult to cut that 6, so quite a surprise that he didn't go for it. And unfortunate for him that he left a fairly comfortable bank for Interchangex. So we're going to be back all square. Very strange that Albie didn't go for that. It is a surprise. Anyway, I maybe think different the next opportunity like that comes around. So Interchangex breaks off in rack number 5. Did I hear anything drop there? I don't know whether I did. Oh, aye, 3 balls gone. Got a back cut on the 1 ball, but look at where the 2 is. I mean, and even the cut in the 1 is dodgy enough as it is. I think. And the other thing is if you start trying to hit that side to come down here for cover, you're going to be bumping the 1 ball around the rails doing that. Well, what if he commits to cutting this on the side? He has to just make sure he can at least see the 2. Whether or not he's going to be able to have any sort of pot, I don't know, but he just wants to be able to see it. And if he sees it decent enough, he might be able to play a decent safety. Well, this is going to be ducking behind the 7. Well, he's got a bump. He's got a split. And that's worked out a dream. He'll settle for that. Problem is, there's still trouble ahead. Now, I think the good thing with this table is that the 5 and the 6 and the 7 are all handy. Now, the ideal scenario would be if you were on the 7 into that corner like that, you could just stun it in and nip back for the 8 because it's not really a combo. It's a bit tight to think you could drop through and play that up the table, that 8 ball, but it's up to Interchangex to work that out, how he's going to deal with this. That's a stumbling block, preventing him from just going a straight run out here. He's overhit that a bit. He's overhit it a bit. And now he's going to have to, he's going to have to check this. And at worst hope, he bumps the 9 ball. So that makes the pot even more difficult. The angle's bad enough as it is. He's having to pot the 6, and then if he's want to come into any sort of line on that 7 ball, he's going to have to put check on this for right English. So that amplifies the difficulty of the pot. In fact, he's gone the other way. Actually, he didn't put the right English on it. He was trying to get back across, and that's not bad. The only problem is it's not exactly the angle you'd want to try and get into that 8-ball. So how's he going to deal with this? I mean, well, this is even difficult to play the safety, so he's decided he's going to have to manufacture the combo. Well, there is a gap, but he's going to have to make this line for that 10-ball, because you can see it's going well onto the rail. And the 10-ball will then come back up, and he's overdone it. Well, Albinario's now had his bluff called here. Big cut up the rail. I don't think there's any way he's cutting that into the side. I mean, that's tight enough as it is. That's got to be stone dead dropped into the side pocket. I think the other thing to be careful with is how he does play this, because if he lets this cue ball get away from him, he could scratch in the other pocket here, unless he does anything. Yeah, he's going above the pocket. The cut is perfect. That was excellent. 9-ball does go past the 10. So we are 25 minutes into this match, and we haven't finished the 5th rack yet. Albie looks as if he's going to finish it now. Regain the lead. Aye, he's jacking up a fair bit. You can see that. He's trying to get the stopper. Well, the cue ball actually got bumped there. And it's a dry one. Now, if you drop this 1 ball in dead weight, can you bump the 3 and just hold there for the 2? If you just bump this in dead weight, let the cue ball nudge the 3, and you'll have a cut in the 2. That looks a reasonable enough line, but he's taking evasive manoeuvres here, because the 2 goes the other way. It sneaks in the back of the 5. And he's got a nice angle to get up onto the 3. Well, there's room. Watch the cue ball. Right, so 4-ball clearly goes. So it's a 1, 2, 3 railer to get on the right side of this 4-ball. It's wide open, so the only disaster that will happen here is a scratch, and he's gone well inside, so he's fine there. And he's also got a perfect angle to get back up for that 5-ball. The problem with the 6 is he has to come down this side. He has to come down that side, unless he fancies playing some sort of far-fetched combo. I think that's the least thing from his mind, is having to do that. So the plan would be to get down that side for the 6. This needs to hold up. Doesn't want to be dead straight. And what do you get? What do you think? He's dead straight. there's not an awful lot he can pinch there, but he can pinch something. Well, he's going, looks as if he's going forward, left English. And now he's changed his mind. Going the other way. And he ended up, I presume, trying to get to the other side to play the combo. So now, oh, wrong button. Now, he can, well, he needs to get to a rail, which he has done. But I would have thought he'd have tried overcutting that 6 ball there and just try and tuck it in behind the 7. Anyway, he made his mind up fairly quickly. Albinario just has to be careful that he leaves himself enough of the 8 ball, which he has done. Perfect line. Oh, welcome to Spud Boy. So now we're going to have daylight for the first time in the match between the two players. Albie opens up the gap. I just thought Interchangex would have took a wee bit more time over that last shot he played there, because at the end of the day, he just sold out. That break is dry. Or is it? 9 ball goes through the gap and goes into the top right-hand corner. But, well, not an awful lot of encouragement for Albinario. I mean, he could blast that and thin cut it into the right side pocket. That would be a stub shot. I think Albie's looking for something a wee bit more substantial than that. I think he's trying to duck for cover somewhere. Now, you could obviously bank the 1 through the gap and go forward and try and run up behind the 7 or something like that. But the problem is the 1 ball's going to be exposed coming down this end of the table. He looks as if he's playing the cut. Oh, he's nailed that right into the heart of the pocket. I think Albie's certainly getting his eye in on the accuracy, because these pots are straight into the middle of the pocket. Dodgy cut in the 2 this time, though. And well, in fact, it's that dodgy. He's not interested. And again, I've not got any problem with that. I think when it's far easier to play a half-decent safety than it is to take a 50-50 cut, then, you know, if the safety's easier, then why not keep control of the table, force the opponent to kick. But if your opponent kicks reasonably good like that and gets a roll of the ball, you could find yourself in trouble. It's all backfired. Interchangex has come up with a very good response. Problem now is the pressure's on Interchangex. If Albie doesn't get a hit in this and get it good, Interchangex is going to be under pressure to make sure he gets out and take full advantage of what he's just done. But Albie's got the hit, and he's not left anything easy. Far from it. I mean, you can split the 2 of them and play the billiard onto the 3. You can do that. That's what I think he's doing. Yeah, he's got the 3. Now, how's the line for the 2? There's the problem. He's got a blind pocket cut into the side. The other problem is, look where the 4 is. The cue ball wants to head up country. And, he's decided to leave the building. In fact, it's Albinario that's gone. That's unusual that the Swedes get disconnected. Very unusual for Albie to lose his connection. Right, so Albie's back. Interchangex is down to his last extension. It's gone. And that'll be good enough as far as cover goes, but if Albie can get this 2-ball clean, that 5-ball, as long as the 2-ball doesn't get bunted into it, that might come to the rescue here. If he can get this 2-ball kit clean up the table. Well, he actually caught it at a half ball. So, however way you look at it, Interchangex has got a 2-ball and an angle that would allow him to get to the 4. I presume it'll allow him to get in there and out of there without bumping the 8-ball. Because the cue ball, if he's checking it up, wants to cut across that 8-ball. Well, he's well away from that. The other problem is he hasn't potted the 2. Big stuns don't really work in this table setup. You've got to be really accurate. Albie's going to have to. He's going to have to probably get lucky here if he's thin cutting this 2 and running the cue ball to try and get back down here to get a sniff of this 4-ball, and that's perfect. That's as good as he could really hope for there. Well, it hasn't got the legs, has it? Trying to hold it and hold it and hold it for that 5-ball. But even though he's hung it in the pocket, this is not easy for Interchangex. He's got to judge this draw coming out of there. And he's judged it very well. Needs to get away from the rail. So now he has to administer punishment here. Got to get the steal. And above all, give all due care and attention to every shot, because if you take your eye off the shot just for a second and let your mind wander on something else, you cannot take them for granted. We've seen fairly straight in 10 balls getting missed on these table settings. That needs to run. You want it, the more comfortable you can get this, the better. So this will get him back within 1, provided it goes in. And a break to follow. Well, the cue ball, Albinario trying to get it to stop. It's stopped reasonably well. It just rolled out a wee bit. And did he get a ball there? Not Albinario, Interchangex, sorry. Interchangex broke there. Well, this is certainly awkward. This is fairly nasty. I mean, you can certainly try and get some sort of hitting the 2. You might have to check this up with a bit of right. No. Thinks he can get it clean, and he can. His eyes are better than mine. Well, you got to. Oh, he hasn't hit a rail, or he hit the wrong ball. No, rail not hit. Well, that's a mistake again from Albi. So Interchangex. This is where you have to pounce every time. It's the only way you put pressure on the big guys in this tournament. Needs to get away from the 6. I think he's fine. He also needs to avoid bumping into the 8 ball here. The other problem being that you don't really want to be trying to play that 6 ball past the 7, but it does go. I mean, there is a comfortable enough room, but you have to get in a good line to play that. So he's trying to get down for a cut in the side. Hasn't really quite got there, but this is a dinky, touchy little cut into the side. Or a bank. And he's overcooked it. So easy to do. The chance is gone. Albinario escapes, and more than likely increases that lead back to 2. Well, it's all a question of whether Albinario is going to find some sort of rhythm in the break and get away from Interchangex, or whether Interchangex himself will get back into it and get a break working for him. I think the precious thing in this tournament, it's like gold dust, is actually getting a ball in the break, getting a shot, and actually running out. You know, those are the prizes to get in every rack, that you have a break on in this tournament. If you can get a run out, I mean, that is like striking gold dust. It really is. So difficult to do. Getting a ball in the break's bad enough, and then getting a decent shot to follow, it's even bigger ask. So Interchangex, it's all in his hand at the moment. Trailing by 2. He has a table that's not too bad for getting out. And this time he's got himself a lot better shape to do so. Well, five ball shouldn't be a problem. 6 ball dead straight, again, not really a problem, because the potting and the cut angle on the 7 ball should be fine enough. Now he's got to be careful, because he wants to get high enough to see the 8 on the left-hand side. The problem is that brings the side pocket into play, and he's managed to go top side, avoid it all, and everything's good. That was very well done. Interchangex back to within 1, and let's see if he can get something going on his break. Few balls gone, 2 balls gone after it. That's a disaster. That's exactly what you never want. after just getting a foothold back into the match by getting that rack back, he might be giving it all away. And I think Albie will take his medicine and just play the 7-8 combo. I don't think he'll try any elaborate jiggery pokery to try and get that 7 ball into play any different. He'll just take it as it is. At the end of the session, 5-3. I think they only played 8 very well. That'll be starting again while I'm watching the football. Mind you, if it goes on late tonight, I won't see the end of it anyway because I'll be heading to bed. So the combo and the 7 ball stays handy. Everything's good. Little nip back. High enough for the 9. And this 10 ball into the bottom left corner, I would think. So, just what you don't want after winning a rack is scratching on your next break and Interchangex. You want to scrub them from the list of things not to do. The gap goes back to 2. So 45 minutes have gone by. We've played 10 racks. Albie's break gives him the 2 ball. And that 6 ball is just married up with a 1. And that's probably the worst safety shot Albinario is going to play today. That was terrible. Oh, that's no good either. I don't think he's going to hold the line. Those pockets are not going to accept that. Yes, it was a dodgy enough cut, but he should never have had that cut. Albie should have prevented that. Well, he's actually has he got into that too much? Yes, he has. Got himself hooked. Not difficult to hit the 3, obviously. I don't think he wants to hit this really soft, does he? Because if he does just roll onto it, he's going to leave a combo. Well, that shot gives Interchangex the opportunity to head up to the top end of the table. If he's going to go left side, he's just got to watch his pace. Well, he's checking this to straighten this cue ball up to go left side as we look. But he's actually got a lot more on it. He's come inside. Hasn't got the cover. If it had another footer running, he would have been behind the 10 ball. But with Albie seeing the whole of the ball, he can certainly bank the 3. He could cut across the left side and use his 7 as a stopper for the cue ball. Now, what pocket did he call there? I was paying no attention. I was too busy looking at the lay of those balls there. Yeah. Well, presumably he called that pocket just in case, but he hasn't got the cover. So, Albinario has given Interchangex another chance here just to nick 1 back and stay in touch. But there's possibility there could be trouble up ahead. Let's have a look at this 8 ball. Right, let's just agree there's no way that 8-ball's going anywhere there. So he's going to have to work something out on this 8-ball, especially considering where the 7-ball is. 7-ball's right down the bottom end of the table here, and the 8-ball's up top. So it's going to be hard work to get out on this table. But if he can at least get the cue ball up that end of the table, then he may well have the chance to put Albi in trouble, or give something that Albi has to think about. He's going to be hard pushed to get anything out of this. I mean, unless he takes a line where he just plays a combo and has to cut that 8 across the 9. Where's the cue ball going? Right, I think that's the plan. That is actually perfect. I mean, I think you could not sit any better to give you as good an opportunity as you can to pot this 9-ball with a combo. I mean, that's a perfect line, and the 8-ball stays in play, and everything's sweet and good. He just has to see it out. Oh, what's this look like into the side? Good enough. So, don't do what you did the last time and scratch. Well, the cue ball's trying. The 5-ball's gone in. He's sitting plumb across from the 1-ball. And the angle the cue ball's taken would take him right into the 2 and the 7-ball, I think. Oh, no, it was actually straighter than it looked. He was able to hold it off. You see how much different it looks when you're looking from this side? It looked as if that cue ball wanted to go into the 2 and 7. In actual fact, it was a lot straighter than what it looked from this side. But anyway, that's by the by. He's got a table that you've got to get out on. Bit of a biggie this early on in the match, because he's going to get back to level par if he does so, which is always a good footing to start on and rebuild for the latter stages of the match. Oh, good evening to Jose. Watch that side pocket. Oh, I'll tell you. Trying his best to muck it up. Forward back into the table for the 8-ball. And now he's good to go. Signed and sealed, and 6 apiece. Sure something went in there. I think a corner ball went in. 2-ball has gone. And again, the problem here is getting the cue ball out of there. I think he can. If he just feathers this thin enough, he can get he needs to put maybe a bit of left to come through the 3 and 8 gap, but he's actually staying up there. And that's no good. That's fairly poor as far as I'm concerned. He's going to be in trouble. And I think Albi's made a complete hash of that as well. Has he? No, he hasn't. He's got cover. Again, Albi just seemed a bit in a you know, a bit in a hurry to play that. Yes, he's got the cover, but I think if he'd actually played it better, he'd have got him nailed to the 6. So Interchangex got the hit. Has he left enough to get to that to thin cut it? Because it's a cutback. I don't think it's there. I don't think it's on. Well, Albie's back looking at the thin cut. I'm not convinced he can get there. No, I don't think he was. I think he was looking to duck for cover, but he hasn't got that either. So here we go. Interchangex, a shot in the 1. Doesn't want to roll out too far and go behind that 9 ball. Just try to hold the cue ball a wee bit. Played the big stun, took the risk, bumped the 9. And, well, he's got most of the pocket. And I think he's got enough angle just to bump this in and spin off the rail. He's having a quick look at the 6 and 7 because that's clearly going to be another combo. And you've got to get as good as you can on it to be able to play that. It's just gone a wee bit for comfort, is it? And let's have a quick look. I think he's just gone a wee bit further than he would have really liked. Yeah, see, this is not quite as easy. So you're trying to cut that 6 to come across the 7 to get that potting line. And even at that, just straight to a knuckle, it's held up. But he hasn't left anything on. I don't think he's not even left a billiard onto the 7 because the 7's on the other side on the knuckle. So Albie's got the cover. I think he can catch a feather edge of that 6. Not that it's going to do a great deal, I don't think, because it's so thin. You may as well just leave the 6 ball there. I think he's going to try and kick it. Well, for a second, I think he's called the 7. Ideally, he's trying to hit the 6 and get some sort of nudge or cut the 6 onto the 7, but you're calling the 7's a good idea. Oh, that's a good try. A good try. But that might be his last shot in this rack. Albie's sitting there just ready to pounce. And it's all wide open. And we could be back, or at least Interchangex, back to square one. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. He's going to be 1 behind again. Where's the cue ball going?
Where's the cue ball going?
Got the nudge in the 10. I think it was certainly heading to that pocket. Well, who's going to stick their neck on the chopping block here and come up with a prediction now? Because it's a nip and tuck. There's been no clear breakthrough yet. Nobody's really started to get anything working in the break. Certainly not as a follow-up. It's hard work. But Albie got the 2 ball again in the break. 1 ball's going to be blocked by the 6. Oh, he's had a good 2 or 3 looks at this 1 and 6. He's got loads of left English in this. I think he's just trying to cut this and hold on to the 6 and run the cue ball away like that. Well, you can't get to the 1 to play any cut up the rail. You can't get enough of the 1 to do that. You could call the bank. I mean, I don't know whether I don't think it's an ideal bank, but I think there is a bank there, but it might be a case of having to try and run the cue ball out of the way. And he's not prepared to even throw the cue ball at it and take a risk. Come up with a better plan. 4 ball is giving him cover in the pocket, but there is the combo there as well. Let's see whether Interchangex has a go at it. Well, he's called the 4. And he's got the combo. And what's more, he's still got a shot in the 1. Well, Interchangex, all he's doing at the moment is actually just making sure he stays in touch. And that's where you have to keep your concentration 100%, because you can't take the table for granted, because the table looks good and easy and simple. You've just got to be switched on 100%, because as soon as you're not, that's when you're going to do something daft. You're going to catch a knuckle, you're going to hang a ball on a table that you should have got out on. And if anything, this is where you should be switched on even more, because you're expecting to get out yourself. So this will be the clincher, getting down onto the 9. Oh, diced with death there in that side pocket. But he's got there. So after 1 hour and 2 minutes, we have 14 racks played. And we're all square at 7 apiece. Well, a 2 ball flew into that top left corner again, I think. 100 miles an hour, and then that's the good news. The even gooder news is he has a shot in the 1. And 3 balls down this end. Going to spin around the corner, and he's going to be good on the 3. And he's not going to be that good in the 4, though, because that is ducking away and hiding behind the 9 ball. Now he's got to get up top because you can then play the safety off the edge of the 4. When he's trying to get in and get a bump. Let's have a look. Well, he's actually right on top of the 4. There's not a lot he can do here other than just skim off it, and he'll probably be in trouble if he does, though. Albinario will be heading to the long grass. Well, he's bumped to 4 out of there. And I think that was a wise move, because had he just feather edged that and kept the cue ball there, Albi would have been all over him like a rash. And he's actually got Albi hooked. So it's all turned out nice. Welcome to Hazard. Yeah, there's nothing between these two. Albinario can't get away, neither can Interchangex. Although Interchangex has been chasing after Albi right from the start. Albi's had a 2-rack lead a couple of times, but it's been he's been reeled back in a couple of times as well. Well, that's going to give the table up to Albi this time, and it's going to be a 5-9 combo that doesn't look all that difficult. I'm assuming he can see the 4 ball to pot it. Yes, he can. The 5 and 9 are plumb, albeit he's a distance away from them. And he controlled that very well. Like a little draggy kill shot. I always get the feeling that, you know, whenever whoever it is that's at the table in a situation like this, you always get the feeling that something's just going to jump up and be an issue, whether it just be hanging a ball or whatever. And he's already got himself on the dodgy cut angle in the 7, but he's, you know, middled that right into the heart of the pocket without a problem. And he's going to find himself back in front by 1 rack. Right, and at this point, my bladder can't stand anymore, so I'm going to take a little break. I'll be back in a sec. Right, I'm back. Now that my bladder has been emptied, I'm going to set about filling it again and have another drink. So Albinario at the table, and not exactly a guaranteed out this rack. Bit more angle than he'd have liked, and I think that's going to work out nice. No, it isn't. I thought he was good there. Breaks out the 9 and 10. Well, even with a jump cue, this is short to jump. But without it, this will be a good shot. Over the edge of the 9 ball, it has to be said, though. I mean, he's not jumping over a full ball. Yeah, well, it was just one shot too many. So, ball in hand for, and I'll tell you something, where that 9 ball's just gone might be an issue. No, it won't. There's plenty of room for the 8 ball. So, Interchangex has to take advantage again to stay in touch. What's happening, Spud Boy? What's the number 3 for? Or are you just typing random numbers? You've got to give us a better clue than that. So, an hour and 10 minutes has gone by. We've now played 16 racks and we are all square once again. This time, Interchangex comes up dry, and again, the worst possible outcome is left the 1 ball on, 2 balls in wide open space down here, but Albinario is going to be asked a question and how he's going to get back onto this 3 ball. Because that's tough enough where it's sitting. And he's... Well, he could go forward and come around the angles. Well, I don't know whether he put any help in English on it at all, but that's not going to be any good. I was thinking if he'd gone forward and maybe juiced it up a bit to try and nip around the angles and come out this way, he might have been lucky and landed in the gap. But anyway, he's played a decent enough safety. And maybe he was quite happy to be able to just see the 3 and be able to play a safety. Because it was certainly asking an awful lot to get down onto that 3 ball. So, well, he ain't got much room to get a hit in this 3. Caught the 4. And, well, the worst news for Interchangex is that he didn't bump anything onto another ball to tie something up there. Everything's wide open. And I think he's going to be back to square one for about the umpteenth time. Albinario, the table at his mercy. And looking odds on to be back to 1 in front. And neither of these 2 guys seem to have any problem with their bladders. They're built of stronger stuff than I am. You'd have thought they'd have taken a little sort of mid-session break, even if it's just for a coffee or something a bit stronger. He's now left himself just awkward. He's just going to roll it in dead weight, stop the cue ball rolling on top of the tent, and he's fine. So we're still, well, either of these players still waiting for a sort of breakthrough. Albinario's only ever been 2 racks in front. That's the best he's been. And he started off with a ball. 3 ball is gone. And now what's he playing? Is he playing the billiard? Yeah. Don't you think that's going to work? You know, it went to the rail too soon, went to the other jaw and was never going to go in. But when you consider where the 1 ball's finished, he was never going to really have anything very appetising anyway, had the 4 ball dropped. Now, what does Interchangex do? Because, I mean, there's a long combo. A long combo in that 7 ball. And that's what he's lined up to do. Well, that's a good effort. That is absolutely... I mean, he could not have lined that up any better. He could not have hit it any better. And it was sweet as a nut. Now, 2 ball. See, that was just a wee fiddly shot there to try and control that cue ball. He's done not too bad. I mean, that's probably as good as he would expect. Okay, he might have wanted it back a wee bit further this way, but it's still a decent enough shot he's got. Well, I think they might use the rail and the ball just to spin across, and a bit of help in English as well. Could do with a decent bump. Yeah, I mean, he would have liked having away from there. You're now into the dodgy territory again with this type of cut. Yes, the cue ball's going to cross for the 6. There's no doubt about that, but you overcut this into the rail, it ain't going in. But that is, again, played exceptionally well. Right into the heart of the pocket. And there's no real sign of weakness here from Interchangex, and that's what the worry is for players like Albinario and the Cobras of this world. When they see their opponent isn't wilting and doing self-inflicted damage, then the pressure builds on them. I can guarantee you that, and it's the only way the pressure does build on them is that you're staying in touch, you're not showing those signs of weakness, and you're getting the job done when you're given the opportunity, because that's the only way you'll ever beat them. And Interchangex has done the first part of the match pretty well. And we're back to 9 apiece. We're just waiting on something happening. One ball goes in. I think the 2 ball went as well, did it? No, it was the 2 ball that's went in, not the 1 ball. 2 and the 9. 1 ball for ducking. Oh, he's played that. That's another terrible shot. Well, there is a sign of weakness. That was awful. I mean, that should have been nailed behind the 4 every day of the week. And he's played a stinker there. Well, that's where you have to redress the balance and sort of reboot your brain there with that shot, because you want to get that sort of stuff out your head when we come to the latter stage of the match, because that was more than a blink, and it more than likely will cost him the rack because of it. I mean, there was nothing difficult about that shot for a safety there to nail that cue ball behind the 4. So goodness knows what he thought or what he was thinking when he played it. Well, flush across the rail. Maybe spin a couple of rails to come around into the left side for the 7 into the right side. He's almost overcooked it. In fact, he has overcooked it. Well, there's no way he wanted to be there, I can guarantee you that. Now he's in 50-50 territory here. And, you know, when he's fiddling around and moving the Q-tip across, it's dead easy to put unwanted English onto this ball. Because you're concentrating on getting the line to make the pot, but you're then fiddling about with the Q-tip. And there you go, he's caught the knuckle. And it's a free gift for Interchangex, a get out of jail card. If ever you've seen one after that terrible safety he's played, he might end up pinching the rack. And that's the type of things that just can make or break the difference in a match like this. Well, you would have laid odds on in Albinario punishing Interchangex there, and he gets himself right out of line, really awkward, and suddenly Interchangex is in front for the first time in the match. Has he got the follow-up, though? I don't hear anything dropping. Oh. Well, Albinario is coming to the table this time with nothing. He can't see the one. He just plays the push. And that's a pretty good response. Although he hasn't got it tight enough to the 9 to eliminate a rail and force Albi into going a couple of rails to get to this one ball. Now he's called the one. I presume he's called that corner. Yeah, the 5 ball goes in, so it's a missed call. And here we go. And this is as good a chance as any to get the break for Interchangex. Okay, we'll give him the 2. We'll give him the 3 into the side. And depending on what angle he has in the 3 will depend on how good he'll be in the 4. Because you have to have an angle or a way that you're going to get good in this 6 ball, because the 7 clearly is a blocker. And that's good enough. He's actually the right angle just to drop and bump the 7 maybe. Or not even, he doesn't even need to bump the 7. That's perfect. Now what he has to be careful is he doesn't do anything that bumps the 8 into play and blocks the 7. And he's well away from that. So this could be a huge rack for Interchangex. There's been so little between the two of them that something had to happen that was going to make the breakthrough, and that might have been it in that last rack. With Albinario given the gift of an opportunity to get out, not been able to do it. Interchangex pinches it, gets himself in front, and then finds a way out. And he opens up the gap to 11-9. And now we've got a game on. Now we're questioning Albinario. And that's the perfect example of how you apply the pressure to the alleged favourite for the match. Certainly the best all-round virtual pool player there is, Albinario. It's the only way you'll ever beat these guys is staying with them and punishing them at every opportunity. And so far, barring the odd sort of silly safety. He's made more than one dodgy safety Interchangex, but other than that, he hasn't made howlers. He hasn't really turned down any opportunities to get out for the most part. That's how he stayed with Albinario. And then you've got that little sequence we've had there that's given him the opportunity to open up a 2-rat lead. Well, we've got a bit of a mess here. First of all, the 8-ball, I think you can get certainly enough of the 8-ball for it to get into the side. It's tight. The way it's sitting across that 10-ball, you see, it's just sitting the other side of the 10-ball. But I think you can get enough of that 8-ball to pot it. But there is maybe a chance that something's going to get bumped here. Although I don't think it really needs to be bumped. The only other thing I would be concerned about is the 9-ball. Now, the 9-ball does go. It'll go into the corner and it'll go into the side if you get rid of the 5. And Albinario is just fouled, hitting the wrong ball. Interchangex now studying the table and plotting his way out. Now, this is going to be more of a test. Not only that he has to start with a combo, but from the way we see the table is sitting, this will be a great out if he can get it. And it will be a real hammer blow to Albinario if Interchangex can get this done. Because that's the major issue there, that ball. And I'm convinced that it goes into the side. And if you look at where the 5 and 6 are, well, first of all, he's the wrong angle on the 3. He's trying to pinch a bit here, I think. He is. He's just trying to squeeze a wee bit with the spin. And he might have just got enough to get on the 5. Now, he could play for a bump and hold for the 6. If he bumps the 9, he'll have a shot in the 6. This is tough. But he's not taking that risk. I think he's accepted the fact that the 8-ball goes in the side. Now, he can go forward and he can come off the long rail, short rail, and in behind this 8. He can do that. He doesn't look at it. He is doing it, but unless he doesn't think he can get on the 8-ball, I'm sure it goes. But he's trying for the breakout, and it's broke out beautiful. He's got the breakout. The only problem is, though, is he going to have to run this cue ball 2-3 rails to come better on this 9-ball, or is he just going to drop this in dead weight? And when he's dropping it in dead weight, the cue ball's coming further down the table, and he's going to have a dodgier cut at distance. Well, this will tell you how confident he is. He could nip into it, come straight back across the table. It looks as if he might be doing that. Straight over to the left side. Well, that's a far more controlled shot. It takes all of the scratch in the side pocket out of it, and he's actually perfect. That was very well done. Well, I don't see Interchangex blinking. Not at the moment. He's going to stretch it to 3. Well, Interchangex 12, Albinario 9. I think it's dry. No, I lie again. The 2-ball sneaked in. I never seen it. It must have went flying into that top right-hand corner again. And he's got a shot in the 1. Well, this all might be just falling into place at the right time for Interchangex here. He can get in the gap for the 4. He could even go through to the rail and back cut the 4, which I think is what he's doing. Now he needs to get out of there clean. He's got all the room in the world to get on the 5 and all the room in the world to get on the 6. 7 into the side. Little draw off the 7 back out for the 8. you know, this is a table crying out to be run out. Now, did he need to do that? Why didn't he just let it run through? Look at what he's done. Self-inflicted damage. That's the things you need to cut out. Did he need to do that? Why couldn't he just go through and run through the back? He was always going to be on the 5 ball, and now he's bumping balls, ended up hooking himself, and he's going to more than likely give Albinario a lifeline here. Well, I don't understand the thinking behind that shot. Or maybe he didn't think he'd get out of there, but it looked fairly straightforward to me to just duck out the back way. You're always going to have a shot of some description in the 5. Well, Albinario is probably going to try and nip down in the short side. I can't believe he's going to try and get up there and play the combo. Well, we'll find out what he's thinking. We'll find out how confident he is. If you overhit this, the obvious thing that can happen is you can end up hooking yourself. Well, I wouldn't exactly say that that's the best shot he's ever going to play. He hasn't run through with it far enough. He's left a big bedhead cut here. And the pressure's on. But he's got it clean. Oh, this could be another turning point in the match. What Interchangex did there, hooking himself. Well, I'm not sure. I would love to ask him what he was thinking when he played that shot. Why he had to start bumping balls. To me, if you go forward playing that shot, you had to come out the other end, and been really unlucky not to see the 5. Why he played it as a stun to bump a ball, and then of course the bad luck part is he ends up hooking himself behind the 10. But anyway, Albinario's taking full advantage of it. He's got himself back to within 2. And I don't think that he's got a ball this time. It is definitely dry. But all he's left is a dodgy cut into the side. Mind you, the cue ball is going to come down past the 5 ball. And if it is hard enough, he's going to go back into the table and have a 2 ball into this bottom left-hand corner. Is he getting there? Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, how do you play this? Do you start getting stupidly greedy and start spinning cue balls and trying to bump something? Or do you think you can get there to cut that? Well, I think that's extremely tight. He's trying to get a bump. And, well, he can certainly use the 5 ball as a stopper because all he's going to be doing is ducking and diving, trying to find a way into this area here. He's got to get the length of this cue ball. He wants to get this cue ball down here. If he doesn't get down here, then it's a failed safety, in my opinion. He has to get length in the cue ball. Oh, if it sneaks past the 7. Oh, that's nasty. That's worked out very nice. Now, the only saving grace here, if Albi doesn't hit this, is the fact that where the 7 ball's sitting and it's blocked by the 9, that's the one that's the preventative thing from stopping anybody running out, unless you play a combo into the 9. So this rack is up for grabs, and it might take a good roll of the ball or a bad roll for somebody to win this. But at the moment, Interchangex has got the slight advantage in the fact that Albi's having to kick at this. Hasn't got the hit. Now, what he didn't want to do is come down and start bumping balls. Well, he's bumped the 9. That's taking any sort of combo out of the equation unless that 7 and 10 are dead. Well, look at that. Look at that. The 7 and 10 are dead. So the 10 will go in and then it will come back up in the spot. I'm sure he's had a look at that. Or if he hasn't, he better have a quick look soon enough. So that's the way to get out. I mean, he doesn't need to break the 7 and 10. Let's see if he's going to do something stupid this time. There's no way he needs to break the 7 and 10. I mean, that 7 might go the other pocket, which it does. But, you know, you've got two options here in getting and dealing with this situation. I think he's going to end up nowhere here. He's going to end up nowhere. Well, that is not part of the equation. Well, now he's got to duck. He has got to duck. And that deals with the fact that it's still stone dead. It's still a stone dead combo, but the 7's now more readily available into this side, so it's still up for grabs, folks. Albie, of course, has to get the hit first of all to try and stay in the rack. He's got the hit. He ain't getting a roll of the ball, though, so this is the make-or-break shot. Getting down on this right-hand side for this 7 ball. Or coming up the middle of the table to play the combo. So Interchangex has to make up his mind in what he wants to do here. We've decided that the combo's pretty much a given. And but the opportunity's there to come down on the shorter side to play this 7 ball. So it looks as if he might be going 2 rails, or certainly 1 rail and across. Well, that looks pretty damn good to me as long as it bounces. Well, he can brush through off it and play the 8 long, but he's got to just be careful of the pace. He doesn't want to come right off and scratch and follow this in. In fact, he's taking that out of the equation. He's going to come drawing back. He could have done with getting a wee bit closer. Well, if you're going right side to get, you've got to go 2 rails to get in this 9 ball. You can't go 1 rail. And that's very well done. Very well done. Got the angle. No excuse not to get on the 10. And stretch this lead back to 3. Well, Interchangex is holding his nerve. Yes, there's been a couple of questionable shot choices, but on the whole, very solid and more than matching Albinario. It goes back now to 13-10, and Interchangex can see the finishing line up ahead. I think that 2 balls blasted into that pocket again. I'm having to do a replay to see it. I'm sure it's going in 100 miles an hour. Look at that. I mean, it's gone. It is gone. No shot, though. Now, the problem with the push-out here is you're anywhere here in the push-out, you're going to get nailed. You're going to get nailed behind that 6 and 7. Well, this is that might not be too bad, because the problem is you want to try and bump the 1 out of the way, but the 6 and 7 are stopping the 1 bumping up the table, and you can't see enough to cut across it to bank it up the table. So Albie's got to be careful here. Well, You could certainly see enough of the one ball to be able to do something like that and get cover. Not a difficult ball to hit. But if Interchangex hits this right, you've got to remember he has to hit a rail. And he's hit a rail. So now, one way or another, Albinario has ball in hand, and more than likely a combo he's going to have to deal with. Not the most difficult table to get out on, but it's still a test. So let's see how he handles it. Oh, I think for the most part, Interchangex has done pretty much everything right. Like I say, the one thing he hasn't done, when he's had a table where he really should be getting out, he's not really blinked. There's not been any great evidence of that. The only things that have went wrong are the sort of slightly questionable shot choice in a couple of shots, but I can't really fault him a great deal, because I'm coming from the approach of how you beat Albinario, and how you beat Albinario is from all the things that I've said. Staying with him, taking every opportunity that he gives you, and punishing him for his mistakes. And above all, cutting out the self-inflicted damage. Well, he's done very little of that. And Albinario's still got to deal with this combo. Is he going to go up too far? No, he's okay. So far, so good for Albinario. Five likes, only 5 likes. And I think I've actually got 21 people watching at the moment. Yeah. Some folk just can't be asked. It's not a great deal to ask, just to hit that like button, folks. But I ain't begging for it. You either hit the like or you don't. At the end of the day, it's your choice. I certainly like the battle that's going on here, because nobody knows how this is going to turn out. But I think Albinario needs to get his break working here. That would be the ideal situation for him. The ideal scenario is now getting a ball and a shot and a fairly comfortable run out. That would settle the nerves a wee bit. And the question I'm asking is where's Bedhead? When his compadre is in at the deep end here in a battle, where is Bedhead? Good evening, good afternoon to Hairpig. Game on it is. We've had Interchangex battling to stay with Albinario. He went 2 racks behind on a couple of occasions. And then we finally got the breakthrough, and he ended up with a 3-rack lead. Albinario's just pinched him back by 1 there. And now it's the race to the finish line. Oh dear. What's Interchangex done there? He hasn't hit anything. Well, that's the first little sign of a crack. He hasn't hit the 1 ball. He's given Albi a chance. Well, you've got to be honest. He's going to have to just dink out off this 1 ball and play a long combo in the 2-3. There's no way he's going to, unless he decides he wants to come out and try and play a bank. Or unless he does the other thing and nail him to the 9, like that. And he hasn't nailed him to the 9. See, the thing is, if he sits on top of the 9 really tight, well, the thing is, he would have been blocked off by the 7 as well, a lot more. Now, there is an escape route here. Yeah, 1, 2. I think he's got to go 2 rails. Well, he hasn't even got out of the corner. He's hit the 5. What the hell did he do there? Well, I think Interchangex would like to take his last 2 visits again, because neither of them worked. But the table is still awkward here with this 2 and 3 ball. He's trying to duck behind the 3, trying to get the 3 foul, and that might be the best route to go. Now, is that Interchangex is on 2 fouls right now, I think. I think my basic arithmetic might have gotten it right. So if he doesn't get the hit this time, that'll be another rack in the board. Well, he's got the hit. Now, does he get a ball to a rail? Yes, he does. Does he get cover in the 1? Yes, he does. What a result. What a result that is. I mean, if ever you step in something and come up smelling of roses, that is it. I mean, he's absolutely buried him there. Yes, he can hit it, no problem. Oh, and that's even sweeter. What a result there for Albi. And he's got him nailed right on the 4 ball, although there is a gap. As John Virgo says, there's always a gap. Well, if that sits in the rail, it's not a bad outcome, but it hasn't. Now, what do you do here? You nick this in. I mean, the 10 ball might be in the way if you're trying to run at the 2, but he's trying to get low just to have a shot up to the pocket, and he's played that very well. He is absolutely plumb on the 2. Couldn't have played it any better. Now we then look at what the other problem might be, and I think it's quite clear where the problem lies. It lies there on that 7 ball. So we'll give him the 2 and we'll give him the 3 and the 4. Now that there was a very clever shot. That was a superb shot. Look at his thinking there. He's used the ball to pot the 2, used the rail in the ball. He's broke out the 7 ball, and now the table is there for running out. Now that is the difference between a champion and somebody that wants to be a champion. Seeing that opportunity, taking that risk to break the things open and make it a more runnable table. Well, I say the 7 ball's more accessible. Yes, he's still got a blind cut. He's got no problem getting on the 8 ball. This is really the only sort of make or break shot here, the 7 ball. And I think he's pretty much nailed every single one of these today. So we definitely have game on. Albinario gets 2 in a row. Little glimpses of dodginess going on in Interchangex's head there. Couple of duff shots. And Albinario is now breathing down his neck. Now the shoe is on the other foot. Now the pressure's on Interchangex. He's worked so hard to get himself in front, and now Albi is right on his coattails here with the break. Watch the 2 ball. Well, the 2 ball goes nowhere this time, but the 8 ball's gone in. And no shot in the 1. Now, if you play this right, you can bunt this around the table. You've got to try and avoid the traffic. It's a big ask to avoid the traffic and hold that cue ball in there. Well, he hasn't. And of course, it has hit traffic. Now, this is a fiddly shot. He's not. He's got the old track ball mouse disease. And we do have a breakdown, Houston. We have a problem. Interchangex is suddenly needing a rewiring job done. He's needing a rewiring job done here. Don't tell me he's beginning to come off the rails at the wrong time. He's not got to the one ball. Albinario trying to three-foul him again. Although he never succeeded the first time around, but a lovely little massey, a little bump, but no cover this time, and plenty of room to get the cue ball out onto this two ball. So one ball and a round and out for the two, 3 balls available, 4 ball available, 5 down the rail. So this, he should be out. He could have done with getting around a bit further onto this too, though. But Albinario is half a dozen shots or more away from squaring this matchup. Another wee drink. Well, I think Interchangex could do with actually taking a bathroom break or something to sort of reset himself here. That would be my advice. Get yourself out for a couple of minutes, redress the balance, and prepare for the fight to the finishing line, because it's 13 apiece. But on we go. Oh, Steve's decided to join the room. Don't tell me he's in bloody Discord, is he? Hang on a minute. I'll boot it up and see if he's there. Come on, hurry up, hurry up. He took his time, didn't he? Where the hell is it? I can't find my channel. There it is. Well, you sure took your time today.
Well, I messed up. I thought this thing was at 1 and it was at 11.
Yeah, well, the story of this is that Albinario had a 2-rack lead on a couple of occasions, up to around about 8 each and whatever. And then there was a little sequence, and to cut a long story short on that, Interchangex built up a 3-rack lead. He was 13-10 in front. And then Interchangex has had a couple of brain farts, unexplainable. He's had the old Larry trackball mouse disease, where he never got the cue ball to the object ball. Played a couple of questionable safeties, and now Albinario is at the table and in control at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what happened yesterday with Larry, and Larry played well, but he also played smart, and this table favored him. And I was thinking that could possibly happen today. I mean,
Well,
Albinario was the favorite, although not maybe quite as big a favorite, but I thought that
Well, I
Alvin
have
may
to
have
say,
trouble on this table.
I mean, I have to say, Interchangex has done pretty much everything right up until just very, very recently. I mean, he's taken every table that's been there to take, given the opportunity. He hasn't had any major unforced errors, but he's played a couple of dodgy shots just at the wrong time. What's happened here? Oh, yeah, we've got the old semi-pro wiggle. Albinario's nailed himself to the 8. Would you believe it?
Well, I think he'll take a kick at this and try to make it. He could try to masse this, but that's pretty tough.
Well, he's fairly tight on that 8 ball. Deal with Stubb, Steve. He's typing his bullshit and has been for quite a while. He's just a distraction at the wrong time. Well, he's going for the kick, obviously.
Well, and he's got a chance to make this.
Yeah, and he has made it. Well, a pressure shot, but he's got it. You've got to deliver when it's most required at the pressure times, and Albinario delivers. Just when there was a glimmer of hope there for Interchangex, Albinario takes it away from him. Well, now, as I said earlier, the shoe is on the other foot. Now Interchangex, from a 3-rack lead, is going behind again, and we're running out of racks.
Yeah, there's ebb and flow in these matches, but you need to be the flow guy at the end.
Mm-hmm. Well, this has definitely been worth a watch. Definitely. 5 balls going in. And he might have the cut in the 1 through the gap.
He does. And I think it's pretty easy getting on the 2. He's just going to come down and hit the end rail between the 3 and the pocket and come back up.
Now Albinario's getting a sweet table here. Well, at least something that's given him a good opportunity to get out.
He's putting a little English on this. He could scratch if he's not careful. Oh no, he hit it perfect.
He needs to keep going, or he needs to slow up one of the 2. Now he's in the 50-yard line.
Except for the speed. Well, I mean, 6 ball's the biggest problem, but he can go 3 rails here. He could cut this also. You know, me personally, I'd probably go with 3 rails. The cut's pretty close to scratching at the speed you got to hit it.
Yeah, the 3 rail looks. Let's have a look. I think he's going to be well away from the 7 ball. He's well away from the 7. He just needs to get the legs.
Issue.
Yeah, 6 ball is the issue. He's landed right on it. Now what does he do? Does he go for the old thin cut? Cue ball up and down like a yo-yo?
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with shooting it if you make it.
No, I think he's running to the long grass. He's running to the long grass. There we go. He's not going to get to the long grass, though. He's a wee bit short. Another 10 inches rolling. He was behind the 4 and the 6 there. And likewise for Interchangex, he can try the same. Just bunt it along the rail. Yeah, but he's got to hit it. These
kind of shots, when you get them at distance and you're trying to take a little bit, or they can be pretty risky.
He got that too thick, but he's going to get a bump. And it won't be that bad. And although this has got a strong chance of catching the 3 and bumping in off the 8, though, hasn't it?
Well, I mean, he's going to kick at this, and if the 8 wasn't there, it'd be a really easy kick. But it's a little tougher. But
you think you'd have to?
Well, you can scratch on this kick. Now he's going to hit it easy, which is smart.
Well, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. He couldn't have played that any better, because he had to bunt it to the rail and catch the 8 to help it to the pocket. Look at that. That's anything different, it would never have gone in. What a shot. He's got an even better shot coming up here. This is thin. Yeah, that's just 1 shot too many. And where's the 10 ball going? What's happened here? Oh, that's plumb. That's dead. That is dead. So now the pressure's on Interchangex. He's got the table. Has he got the nerve? He's been okay up until recently. That needs to keep running.
Well, that was an interesting way to play it. I would have played it on the other side, but he got there.
He's not going to do anything crazy here and start bumping balls when he doesn't really need to, is he? Please tell me he's not doing that. No, he isn't. So he can see that it's a combo. He knows the 10's going to respot. So he's got to just think about the cue ball. Don't tell me he's going to start bumping stuff. This could be a bad move.
I don't think he will.
This could be a bad move.
The thing is that, yeah.
Thing is, the angle he's got though, Steve, could he actually still nip this and nip across enough without hitting anything?
Yeah, you got to hit this a little left English if you want to cut back quick.
Yeah, he has done. He's held it well. So now it's about keeping the 9 ball there and keeping the angle to either just drop behind the 10 into the side or up the table for the 10 into the corner.
Shouldn't be a problem with the angle he's got. Little right English, and I mean this should be pretty simple.
That's perfect. That is perfect. Well, we're back all square. I'm attempting fate saying that too soon. Oh, he's gone into the corner. He's just about got there.
It's been a pretty long match. I thought this match was at 1 p.m. I'm so blind I saw 1 instead of 11.
You know why you're so blind, Steve? Because that bloody bracket thing doesn't read right, and I've told you that 100 times. You want to change the text, or at least change the default text size to a lot bigger for people like you and me.
Just to FYI, I wasn't looking at the bracket. I was looking at the main page.
The schedule thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is a brilliant break. I mean, that's the best break of the match. Just when you need it. I mean, he's nailed a barrel load of balls. He's lining the 1.
Well, it's
he doesn't want to
time here.
Yeah, don't hook yourself behind the 10.
You got to decide whether you're going above the side pocket or below it. He's going above it. That's what I would do here. Uh-oh. Wow.
Well, he's dragged everything.
He didn't hit it, but he's okay.
Yeah, he's dragged it all and killed the pace, but the main goal is seeing the 3 ball. That's the main goal, because you're always going to be in the 5, no matter where you are on the table. Oh, this could be a huge rack at the right time for Interchangex. Huge rack.
He's holding us with inside. He did a pretty good job on it. He needed to minimize this angle, but I think he's good. I think he'll play to the short side of this.
I mean, he's got to go forward in 3 rails, hasn't he? Get it spinning.
He doesn't have to.
Well, I prefer that. Looking at the angle he's got here, he's going to nip it and.
Yeah, the only problem is the 10 ball. I mean, you got to get by the 10 ball, which is possible. But if you hit that 10 ball, he's going to go forward. You just got to get this thing to open up so that you miss the 10. Yeah, and that's pretty good.
Looks good enough. Wait. That is absolutely on the money, spot on.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for much more now.
Well, this is the second comeback here by Interchangex from 13-10 up to falling behind. And 1 ball away from taking the lead again.
Well, we've been saying this for a while, that Interchangex is one of the guys that could break through and win one of these things. And he certainly seems to play stronger every tournament. It's huge if he can get this match over Albin.
22 people in the room, Steve. You know how many people hit the like? 5.
Oh, yeah, I haven't yet. But
5.
No, I'm showing 13 people.
How far into the bracket is this tournament? Well, this is round 2, this match.
You got to refresh you. Well, he's got a ball down. I see safety coming here.
Oh, well, every day of the week. Yeah, ducking
That's
behind
terrible.
the 7.
That was terrible. Well,
and I'll tell you something, that's not the only terrible shot he's played when trying to duck in behind that 7. He done it earlier on in the match and left Albie in. And this is this is part 2.
He tried to finesse in a situation where maybe not quite that much finesse was required. You know, he needed to get the one ball up table, and boy, yeah, that was a fail on that one. It's going to cost him there too. You just can't afford to play bad safeties. That's just like missing a shot.
Yeah. Right, the assumption is that the 7's not a problem, and it isn't a problem.
No.
So, Interchangex blinked.
What happens there with that bad safe is he loses control of the table.
Exactly, at the wrong time as well.
He just won, he ran out, he broke, had a good table, but not a shot on the one ball. Safety there, lock up Albin, and pretty good chance he's going to be back at the table running out again. And he plays a bad safe and gives the game up.
Well, there might be another twist in this yet. There's just enough racks left to be another twist. Well, this has been the best match of the tournament so far, because Interchangex has been putting it to Albie for pretty much most of the match, but just a couple of dodgy things have crept in there, and another one there in that last rack. Watch the 2 ball again. Well, this time again, it nowhere near the pocket, and that is dry.
Yep.
And no shot though.
I'd kick at this. So
now this is one where you do exactly. You want to roll. This is where you're trying to scratch the corner pocket below the 8 ball. You want to run along the rail.
Yep.
That's exactly what will happen.
Well, from here,
although obviously
you can't really scratch from here.
Yeah,
you want to run it. It'll run it like the 6 and the 8, and there you can't.
Yeah. No, he's caught it thin, and it's wide open.
Well, he hit it on the wrong side of the ball.
Yeah,
I mean, he needed
wide
to be
open.
He needed to be at least to the middle of the ball. Really, he's got to be past the middle to get the ball to move over.
Well, this still could be just that thing that makes a difference. Albie's got a table where it's about finding your way out. He's overcooked that a bit. But all he'll do is just, I mean, he can go to the short rail up top. As long as he doesn't go near the 7 ball, he'll have a shot in the 3.
I think Interchangex was kicking at the side pocket, and that was the wrong move. You wanted to try to kick that one like straight down the table so that the cue ball came over. I think he was thinking he'll kick it at the side pocket, and then if it misses it, it goes down to the other end rail. But that wasn't the best safety play.
He didn't even need to get up to the top rail there. The angle must have been a lot shallower than it looked. Well, this is going to hurt.
If you watch the great players play safe, especially Efren, like Efren on that shot, he would put you behind that 6-8 almost every single time. I mean, it would be like at least 95% for him. I mean, it's like almost guaranteed he would have got safe there. And
is Albie trying something crazy here? No, he isn't, because you've got to deal with that 6 and 8. Yes, he is. He done that earlier on in the match as well, Steve, where he played.
That's a smart play.
He played a ball into the rail so he could bump a ball out the way and open up the table. He's done it again. I mean, that's 2 instances where, you can tell that all the mechanisms in Albinario's brain are working full tilt to see that opportunity and create that opportunity. That's the difference. That is the difference. Thinking on your feet and seeing a way of making the table yours.
That shot it basically increases your chances of running out.
Exactly.
And that's what it's all about, is percentages. You want to play shots in a way that give you the best percentage chance of running out.
Well, just got to get this. I take it he's coming up the left side. Yep, got the stun, and he's controlled that beautifully as well.
Yeah,
and he's going to be on the hill. On the hill, breaking for the match. What a battle this has been. 2 hours and 8 minutes.
That comes down to a couple bad safeties by Interchangex. One was one that, was kind of a gimme safety that he played incorrectly. And then the last one, which, it wasn't guaranteed if he played it the right way, he was going to get to snooker, but I thought he had a lot better chance than what he did.
Yeah. And as I said, that's the second time he's done that today as well. Doing exactly the same thing, trying to get in behind the 7 in that corner. Well, here we go.
This is why the safety game's so important. As you can see right now, as he loses this match, that's going to be why.
Oh,
another dry break.
It's dry.
Well, I'm assuming he can get safe here.
And behind the 4.
Yep. So there were 2 ways to play that. One was hit the one harder and go down table, and the other one was the way he did it. And the way he did it, I think, is probably best for him because he knew he was going to get the safety.
And this is, obviously he's calling that top pocket. Right enough. Got the hit.
Well, he got the hit, which was important.
And I think the outcome's not too bad as far as not leaving an obvious shot on, because the 5's a blocker. He'll be happy with that.
So one idea, which wasn't that, what I would have done is gone across the top of the 1 ball, taken the cue ball to the side rail and run it at the 10. And the reason why is because you get the 7 sitting there to stop the cue ball.
This is going to be trouble. Oh, that's...
Yeah, and it was another bad safety there by Interchangex, and it may cost him.
Now it's on a knife edge for him. Got to get the hit. Got to get a ball to a rail.
You got to decide. You got to decide whether you're going to try to get him on the 4-6 or not.
Oh, he'll take that. I think he'll accept that.
He could be in trouble here because he's going to kick and stick him here. So this shot you want to hit with topspin. You want to hit this shot with topspin and hit the 1 ball real square, and just the cue ball should just sit there because it'll still have some topspin after it hits the rail. You should be able to just freeze the cue ball right there. And with the and he did even better. He came up a little short and the cue ball moved over.
That could be a killer, that one. There's room behind that 1 ball as well. Now, I think the side pocket's a bit in the way here. Yeah, well, he went beyond the side pocket, didn't get the hit. So Albinario has ball in hand to seal the deal. 2 and 3 really aren't an issue as long as you get on them.
Yeah, this is an important shot, getting good on it too. And he's doing the right thing and taking his time and figuring out exactly where he wants to get the cue ball.
Just to roll through.
This is also smart, rolling it.
And I think he can roll clean and just play the 3 into the side pocket as well. No, he's got a slight angle.
He's going to rub the 3. I think he's going to draw this.
He's just going to nip it and play in the same pocket. Yeah. Oh, he's gone squarish.
Yeah, he came up a little short there.
Albinario's not hung a ball today as far as I can remember. He's potted everything. Anything that's questionable about being a dodgy angle or whatever, he's nailed them. And just as I say that, there you go. I'll take the blame for that. Wow.
Well, I showed up here when I was 13. So far, what I've seen is some nice runouts and Interchangex playing 3 bad safeties.
Well, this is a test of his nerve. Now, I'll give him credit. He has, when he's had a table like this every day today, every time he's had it, he's
jinx
delivered.
him too, you. Come on.
He's delivered.
Well, he's a very strong player, and you know, now that he's sort of settled in competitively, I mean, he's a threat to anybody. I mean, he still can win this thing. He runs this rack out. He's breaking for the match. And he's taking his time here, which is good because you want to get the angle, good angle on this 6 ball.
Whoa.
I wouldn't say that's a great angle.
Is he too straight?
No, but he's going to have to hit this hard.
He's going to have to thump this. Yeah, he's going to have to blast it. And now this could be dead behind it. Is it spinning? That will do nicely. That's beautiful. That is perfect. Again, just getting his bearings now over to the right side, but you don't even think about that side pocket. Yeah, it's scary. He took the risk though.
He's making it exciting, huh?
He's got there. That was the only fear I had for him with that side pocket. But we're going hill, folks. We're going all the way. Interchangex breaking for the match.
Yeah,
and he showed his bottle there.
Albie's break has failed him the last few games. He's been breaking dry, and that's a killer.
See if this.
He's breaking like
nine balls going in,
and this little nice little kick.
9 ball went in.
Yeah. So this is a little tricky.
Cut back in the 1.
Yeah, this is a little tricky because of the 10 ball. If the 10 ball wasn't there, it's pretty easy. With the 10 ball there, this is tricky.
It wants to hit that 10 ball, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got some safety plays. He can take the 1 ball behind the 6, and there's a lot of balls in the way. You know, if he's going to shoot this, he's got to get around past the 10.
He's got the back end of it. He's come out though.
He
can
lucky.
See it. That's all you're asking for at this stage.
Yeah,
you just want to see the ball.
I probably would have played safe there if I wasn't sure I could get by that 10, because, you know, anything could have happened. He could have been snookered.
Well, this is another dodgy shot.
Well, this is, I mean, this is
all or nothing.
The side pocket being there doesn't help. He's going to pull it past the side here, and you know, he needs to hit this not too hard. If he hits it too hard, it'll go in the side pocket. It's kind of a very touchy shot.
Oh, it's caught the jaws. Now where's the cue ball going? He's spinning round behind the 6.
He hit it the right speed.
I mean, it was tough.
Missed the ball. He could have hit it a touch easier, but as you know, it makes making the ball tough when you're putting a lot of spin in English and
you're starting to do stuff.
Yeah, that's you know, that's tricky.
The outcome, though, he will be well pleased with. I mean, whoever gets this 2 ball is still going to have a problem depending where the 2 ball eventually goes in, because you've got to get that cue ball there for the 3. It's blocked by the 7. It's not a gimme. You've got to find your way to it. So this, well, Albinario's decided, I'm just going to mess things up here and make him work for it. So I think that was a wise move, but he could be buried in a minute.
I'm not sure that's good enough.
Yeah, well, he could be buried as well. That's the downside to it.
Here's the thing: is if you're in Interchangex, you know, you want to be looking for ways to free those balls up, because here's why. If you bury it, the problem is that even if you get ball in hand, you still have the same table. He's got ball in hand now, so he's going to try to get himself where he can break it out. And I think this is the right move, because otherwise you don't gain anything.
You know the problem, Steve? The problem, Steve, with this angle is he could hit the 5 and do no damage to the 4 at all.
He needs to
He's
hit
got
the
to be
7
careful
here.
and get into this.
He needs to hit the 7 ball and move the 4 to the pocket.
See, he's hit the 5,
That's
and it's
well. Now it's time to play safe. This is the easiest safe in the world to put this on the 5 and take the 4 down the other end of the table.
Let's see if he can actually get one, because he's failed miserably twice. This time, though,
one
he's got it.
One problem with that safe was the way he hit it. He should have put some left English to help check it, you know, and he made it harder. He got it, but he made it harder because of the way he used his English.
If you're really critical, he just didn't. He still didn't get the cue ball as tight as he could. He's still giving Albinario rails to work with here.
You need to hit that with some check English to check it up and get it on the 5. But you know, the important thing for him right now is that he didn't sell out. So, you know, this isn't a bad safety.
Now, did he call the bottom right-hand corner pocket? I assume. I don't know. I was too busy looking at the chat there.
Or something. I don't know.
Oh, welcome to Bedhead.
I don't think he'll have
finally
trouble hitting this. The question
watch
is,
this cue ball. How's the spin? Oh, it's checking back the way. Well, there you go. Interchangex has his chance. And just when Albinario needed some support, Bedhead finally wakes up and arrives.
This is all you can ask for.
Oh, that needs to slow up. That needs to slow up. I think he's done himself.
Oh, he's going to have to kick at this.
Wow.
Now you got two choices. You can kick to make it, or you can kick on the other side to try to get the hook. He's going to kick to make it, which I think is the right choice.
When you get this wrong, you're simply bunting into the rail and leaving it on.
The tendency here is to hit this too thick.
Yeah. Oh, that is absolutely nailed. That is beautiful. How's the cue ball? Oh, dear. Well, what do you do here?
I think he's shooting. I think he's a shooter. I don't think there's any doubt he's shooting this up in the corner.
Well, the cue ball's heading in the right direction. We know that.
The speed's
it's all about the 6.
Well, the speed's a little tricky here. It's not
he's overdone it.
About the 6.
He's overdone it. And he's not going to get the cover this time. And that's it. Where's Arnie?
Hasta la vista, baby.
Well, he had his chance. And he ends up hooking himself. And Albinario, well, can he hold his nerve to get on this 8 ball? 2 hours and 20 minutes. And an hour and 20 minutes ago, you had no idea who was going to win this. Albie's gone on top of the 8. Well, what does he do? Does he play the cut and just a little dinky draw? That's what the shot requires. And he's nailed him. And he's nailed it. He's nailed it. And Interchangex blinked in the last rack with a hook. And Albinario survives a big scare. 17-16 to Albinario. What a match.
Well, we haven't seen the last Interchangex in this tournament because he's playing good. He says
someday I'll learn to beat my nerves.
Well, you know, I think his nerves weren't too bad actually. I think from what I saw, you know, he played some safeties weren't good, which is, you know, I'm always saying play safe more, but you have to play good safeties, you know, and I think that's the thing is you got to practice those shots because a bad safety is just like a miss. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of guys don't play safe much because they're so bad at it. They just say, well, I'm going to screw it up. So they shoot.
That's exactly the right point. Yeah.
Both these guys play a lot of safeties, which is good, but you still have to execute them. I mean, you get kudos for attempting them, but you don't get wins unless you pull them off.
I'm going to say something in Albinario's defence here. If Albinario's going to win this tournament, look at the draw he's had. I mean, he's just played Interchangex, had to battle his way out of that, and then he's bumping into Acero, who had a final rack decider in his first match against you-know-who. So Albinario is going to have to work hard for it. Acero is going to give him a good game as well. There's no doubt about that. Big time zone difference again there. So again, I don't know what is going to suit Acero, but I don't think playing in the middle of the night ever suits him. So that's a round 3 match lined up. We're still waiting on Tommy and Bankster getting themselves sorted out. That could be a good match because Jose is waiting on the winner of that for round 3. And then further down we have Spectre Don, who went through last night, of course, against Larry. And then Romario and Old Man Bob. I don't see anything happening there either. They've got until the 21st, so there's 3 days left to get organised here for those matches. And
Let me
then
see if those guys have been doing anything.
Balls went through against Emmett yesterday. He's through to round 3, and he now plays Cobra. So, like I said, it's looking like Cobra will be the favourite for that match. And the way it's going above in the bracket, I think it's odds-on favourite that we're going to have a Cobra Spectre Dawn round 4. With the greatest respect to all the others involved, that's how it looks. And that's pretty much where we're up to. We've got the one match that has still been arranged for a few days, which is the one with Stubb at Real Poland Power against Happy Dolo. And that's set for tomorrow night at 7 p.m. What round is that? That's the one-loss side, isn't it? Because Stubbs...
Well, so here's what's going on with this match with Romario. He had proposed to play yesterday. Old Man Bob hasn't put in any proposals at all. So
right, well, Romario's going to get advanced then, isn't it?
So
I think I'm pretty much certain on that.
I mean, you got to figure that. I mean, Romario made this proposal on Saturday to play Saturday. Like 2.5 hours before. So he's kind of slacked off on, the same thing we always talk about, send your proposals in early. And Bob didn't respond to that, hasn't made one. So
I don't think Bob's going to appear in the building at all. I think Romario will go through. Yeah, I mean, it isn't rocket science to actually send your proposal as soon as you can, and that way, if there's if there's interaction between the two of you in terms of trying to settle on a date, then you've got time to do it. What you don't want to do is wait to the last 2 days and then get backward and forward, and then you suddenly find nobody can play. It's a fairly simple thing to do. Anyway, very well done to Albinario. What a battle, and very well done to Interchangex. There was the little cracks just at the wrong time, but other than that, I thought he played superbly. I really do. Yeah. I think he put it to Albinario big time. But Albinario's there's those couple instances with Albinario where he created the table to be run out. That's that little edge that somebody that's got a bit of class can do, and you haven't seen that from many other players in the tournament. But you saw it today from Albinario, a table that was dodgy to get run out because of a blocking ball or an awkward ball, and the creativity side of him made the table runnable, and he done it on both occasions. And that's just the edge that gave him it in the end, really, when you think about it. Okay, the way the last rack went, we all saw, but he had that little bit edge, and he's through battered and bruised for it, but he's going to have to work hard against Acero, because Acero is well capable. We know that now, and especially him winning a tournament under his belt also. He's got no fear of getting to a finishing line. So that's one to look forward to.
Don't leave Interchangex out of this mix.
No,
he plays Shibu, and then if he wins that, he's got to play SPD.
I think he should be favourite to take down Shibu. I think Shibu's not getting enough table time, and he's in too much a hurry every time anyway. I think he'll be too strong for him. And then it's game on. later into the one-loss side. So there's a lot of good matches. It's always the same in these tournaments. That once you get rid of the waifs and strays and the ones that make up the numbers, then you get down to the nitty-gritty of the battle of them that want to win it.
Should we look at stats for this match?
Let's have a look. Where are we? I keep going down to the bracket bit by mistake all the time. Right, Albinario. 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 Oh, shit. Albinario. Right, now stay there. And Interchangex. Interchangex. Delete. And go. Right, now, well, Interchangex had the better balls in the break. He was averaging over 1 on the break. But there's also a difference. Interchangex had 2 run-outs from the break. That was at the time, I think, that he took the 13-10 lead, as a matter of fact. And breaking at 75%, Albinario just under 71.
And those are excellent percentages for 10 ball.
Yeah. And then we've got Rack's run, Albinario 1, Interchangex 3. So Interchangex is on top in a fair few of the stats. Rack's high run 1 for each of them. Moneyball shot, that doesn't really matter. But Interchangex was well in it.
What that tells you is that he probably lost the moving game. Because he broke better, he ran out more racks, and he ended up losing.
Yeah, those couple of questionable safeties he played as well. Yeah. And then he had a dodgy one where, as I said, he had the Larry trackball mouse disease. He didn't get to the ball.
Well, it doesn't take much with players of this caliber. Every single mistake is a big deal.
Yeah. Right. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, folks. I certainly did. I always love to see somebody putting it to these guys. I'm not rooting for the underdog. I'm just rooting for somebody to actually stay the distance and make them work for it. And I can't fault Interchangex there. He put up a big battle, a good battle. He's still got the one-loss side. He's still going to be a big threat there. And needless to say, he might bump into Albinario somewhere along the line again. You never know. So,
yeah, it's not a done deal for him. He's got a chance to come back and win this thing.
He said himself that, if he can control his nerves, he's at least admitting to himself that the nerves are jangling at that point.
I won a tournament once where I lost my first match, and I had to play 12 matches through the loser's bracket, and I won the tournament.
Well, there you go.
I mean, it's possible to do it.
Every dog has its day, Steve.
That's right. Even this old tired one.
You just live in hope it might happen sometime. Right. Well, eventually Steve managed to wake up and get round to joining us, so thank you for his company. Thanks all for watching.
Yeah, thanks for
I'm going to get my dinner, and I'm going to catch the end of the football as well, because the second half will just be started. Right, I'm off. Take care, folks. Well done to all who participated today. It was very enjoyable. Best match of the tournament. And I don't know about tomorrow night, though. I don't know whether that'll be the best match of the tournament. We'll soon find out. Stubb against Happy Dolo. Happy Dolo was in the stream the other night there, so he may well show up. I would expect him to and give him a match. Right, we'll see you later. Good night.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.